See this tip of the shoelace? This is what you know about Steve Prefontaine's life. This entire shoe represents what I know about Steve Prefontaine's life. Steve, otherwise known as Prefontaine, was born January 25th, 1951 in Coos Bay, Oregon. Pre was his nickname given to him at some point in high school. I am unsure when he officially got that nickname. He attended Marshfield High School in Coos Bay. Steve, or Prefontaine, accomplished many feats in his lifetime and helped give future runners a better chance at success with many of the things that he did. Pre first started cross country in 8th grade, and then his freshman year placed 53rd at the State Oregon cross country meet. His sophomore year was less successful as he did not qualify for the state meet, but followed with his junior and senior years going undefeated, winning 2 state cross country titles, and his senior year winning the 1 and 2 mile track state titles. He got many recruitment letters in the mail after his very successful junior and senior running years. At any one point, he was getting 35 to 40 letters in the mail. Steve greatly respected his high school cross-country coach and asked him to help decide which college to go to. His cross-country coach and his cross-country coach's father had both earlier run for Bill Bowerman at the University of Oregon, so they naturally tried to push him to run at Oregon under Bill Bowerman also. He was also the co-founder of Nike shoes. After Bill Bowerman finally sent a personalized letter, Steve signed his letter of intent to attend University of Oregon the next fall after his senior year. Steve did not want Bill just to send his regular recruitment letters that he'd been getting for a couple months before the personalized letter. At the University of Oregon, he had a very successful career. He won 3 out of his 4 years attending there, the cross-country championships of America. His fourth, the 1 year he did not win it, he set it out to train for the Olympics in Munich in 1972 after he set an American record 5K race, or a 5,000 meter race. His Olympic career was very short, as that was the only Olympics he was able to make it to, but it was not a bad one. He led for the first 2 miles before getting passed in the last 150 meters by the top 3 places, ending up in 4th place. In his entire collegiate career, he only suffered 3 losses in track or cross country, all 3 of them coming in the mile. He set a record in every race, from the 2,000 meter race to the 10,000 meter race. He also qualified for the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, but would never make it there. On May 30th, 1975, after attending a party, Steve picked up his fellow teammate who ran the mile, Frank Shorter, and was driving him home. After he dropped off Frank Shorter, he started to drive himself home, and on a winding road flipped his car. The first person on the scene went to run for help, but by the time he got back, the car had crushed Steve Prefontaine, and he died later that night. One Eugene, Oregon newspaper, the Register Guard, called Pre's death the end of an era. Pre and some of his other teammates, along with Bill Bowerman, were accredited with helping to spark the running boom of the 1970s. And all in all, Pre won 78% of the races he ever ran from when he started cross country in 8th grade all the way through the end of his life. The next race he was planning to run a 3-mile track race, and to finish with a time of 12:24, which would still be a world record by about 1 second today. Some of Pre's favorite quotes said by him was, "To give less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." Another one, "A lot of people run to see who's the fastest. I run to see who has the most guts." There is a memorial set at the spot Pre died and it reads, "For your dedication and loyalty to your principles and beliefs, for your love, warmth, and friendship, for your family and friends, you are missed by so many, and you will never be forgotten." Many runners stop by that rock to drop off their spikes or any other running gear they have and pay homage to Pri. Pri is still trying to be remembered every day. Every September, every third week in September, there's a race in Coos Bay, Oregon called the Prefontaine Race. An art museum in Coos Bay displays many of the medals Pri won in his running career. He was inducted into the Oregon Hall of Fame in 1983, and his high school track in Marshfield was also dedicated to him. This is a picture of Pri, who was known for his long shaggy hair and his big mustache. And here are some of his records that he set. In conclusion, Pri had a very short life, but a very successful one. He helped defeat the Amateur Athletic Union, which would not allow runners who were accepting endorsements to run in big-time meets. It was later defeated by other runners after his death, but may not have been possible without the legacy he started. He was a very successful runner, as I said, winning 78% of his races that he ever raced in, which is a phenomenal number. And like his memorial stone says, he will never be forgotten.